Racial tensions over schools' language policy have reached a fever pitch, with the EFF assaulting a white parent at Hoërskool Overval. The tension was sparked by a court ruling allowing the school to exclude 55 English-speaking learners. A protest by disgruntled parents turned political and violent when tensions between EFF members and AfriForum members came to a head. A white parent, who is said to have provoked protesters, was beaten up in the process. At least 10 people were arrested after the scuffle broke out outside the school's premises. Several others were treated for injuries sustained in that clash. Police had to fire stun grenades into the crowd to defuse the situation, which quickly escalated into a racial confrontation.
We can see the students on the second floor of the school looking out onto the tires that are being burnt in the road. So obviously that is a concern, but yes, at this stage there's nothing being done about the tires.
Well, from AfriForum's side, I think it's important that we keep this as peaceful as possible. AfriForum has got nothing to do with what happens outside on the street in front of the school. We're simply involved on the inside regarding certain risk and security issues. The police have, I think, done their job very, very well today. There's a very strong police presence, and we commend them for that. And they've even sent leadership from the provincial level of the police. So, from our side, we would like to keep it peaceful, and we need to remember that it's about children that need to learn. We can't infringe on someone's right to be able to learn.
This protest, it is not a protest of EFF. Yes. It is a community protest. Yes. EFF is part and parcel of the community. Yes. We are parents in our own right. Yes. There is no way in which we are going to allow a situation wherein majority of the residents here are black people, but they are denied an access on the basis of Afrikaans as a language. Yes. If it was a question of a language policy, why not majority of the people becoming Southern Sotho speaking inside the school? Yes. Because if indeed it's a policy, majority of the residents around here are black and they don't speak Afrikaans.
We want to thank you, the fighters, the ANC and its alliance. We needed this in order to pass a message, particularly after we have received a very racist verdict from a racist judge called Prinsloo. We want to pass a message to Prinsloo that Prinsloo, your time has ended. Your racial discrimination has ended.
As you know, one of the key mandates of the South African Human Rights Commission is to monitor human rights observance. So our visit here is to monitor the situation, especially in relation to access to education. At the end of the day, we just want to make sure, or our interest in the Human Rights Commission is just to ensure that children have got access to education, and they also study in an environment which is not conducive for learning. But unfortunately, as you see, there's also a protest. Obviously, the question is how do you balance protest and also the right to education. And yeah, so far I think that's the whole purpose of it, is just to monitor, the schooling and tranquility, for today. Yeah.
The protesters were burning tires around the area, and then the police saw that it was fit that they must be dispersed because now they were causing chaos around the area. Whilst they were dispersing, whilst the police forced them to disperse, they had to fire rubber bullets. And in that situation, we also arrested 10 people. Those people will be charged for public violence. We have got deployments around the area. We'll make sure that those parents that came to take their kids out of the school are safe.
We are happy that our learners are at school, those that were supposed to be reporting here at the school. They are at the riverside That's where they were accepted. In consultation with the parents, we agreed that we need to move them to a new school, and they were accepted there. So we are happy that the learners are at school, and the situation outside here is quite an unfortunate one, because we said there's no need for us to disrupt any schooling. So we will not encourage any disruption of schooling in all our schools.
Meanwhile, Gauteng Education MEC Panyaza Lesufi organized alternative placement for some of the excluded 55 learners.
To assure parents of the 55 learners that were placed here that their children are in good care. And I want to observe that and be convinced that indeed they're in a good care. And people will ask MEC, why are you bringing them here while you wanted to place them at Upafal? We have seen the distance to come here. And we wanted you to just observe that the distance is huge. And these parents are staying next to that thing. So we're just bringing them here because, as I said, with a willing SGB, willing principal, and therefore when we had discussions with the leadership of the parents yesterday, we felt this would be the correct space.